Last
It's
session,
more than worthwhile. Pay for it.
we picked up with your party arriving at the base of this mountain that was marked on the map as Green Mother's Tooth. You made camp for the night, and in the morning did some scouting, trying to sort of work out any way up to this settlement you had seen high up on the mountainside. Through your own sort of exploration and scouting, as well as sending Thornleaf up and Cash's shared senses with Thornleaf, you were able to see a route up, which kind of culminated in what looked to be some kind of like rudimentary, like pulley led elevator, essentially. You began making your way up there. Finding one minor challenge in a sort of a slight sort of landslide that opened up a space in the path, which most of you were able to make your way across quite comfortably before there was then a sort of 10 to 15 minute discussion on how to get Darius across safely. But it's fine, we got there in the end, just about, after much discussion of who was going to tie ropes around themselves and be anchor weights or make weights for Darius. But yeah, it's all good. You got there, literally thanks to a +1 from Adslaw, I think, if I recall. I think it was a DC 15 and Darius rolled a 14. Awkward. Upon reaching the top, you got to this elevator where you were greeted by two human males who spoke to you briefly before lowering down the elevator and welcome you into this village, this town, sort of up on the cliff edge here. The apparent leader of the town, an elder gentleman named Idgar, gave you some information on his people, the Famir, and their background in Neelam's Grove, and what had led them to essentially, if not leave the forest itself, but at least sort of move out of the forest and onto the mountain's edge, as the forest had kind of changed over the last sort of 15 years or so, and sort of get less welcoming, darker, and no longer sort of feeling the Shanti's touch. Through the conversation as well, he mentioned that some younger members of the town, the tribe, had around sort of 12 years ago had left and gone into the forest looking for revenge, or to take a more sort of active approach in dealing with this growing shadow elf problem and this pretender posing as Shanti. He also told you that their leader, Marin, was someone that he had raised, that she had returned 8 years before now, and told him that he was a coward for not doing more, and that was the last time he had seen her. As you talked about some of your own experiences in the forest, it became clear that you had encountered Marin previously, and she was the one surviving member of the group that ambushed your party and killed the 3 echoes that were travelling with you, which you had released, or Halloran had released, during that sort of second ambush when the Shadow Elves themselves arrived. Idgar then sort of took you around the town. You met another sort of young teenage boy in town who was quite openly critical of Idgar for sort of again staying up on the mountain and not getting directly involved. And then Idgar introduced you to Ren, who was like a priestess of Shanti. She had some very direct words for Darius regarding this debt or situation that Darius is in with his patron, and the fact that his patron had gone deathly silent and uncomfortable in the presence of this shrine to Shanti, suggesting that nothing good had ever sort of reacted in that way whilst near that place. There was also some discussion around of just the general situation, and sort of you were basically welcomed into this town as to use it as you needed to stay there as long as you needed and to return whenever you needed. You're sort of welcomed as members of the members essentially. Towards the end of the conversation, Idgard did make a request, and was quite clear that he understood this was a difficult request and not an expectation. But if there was any chance of you finding Marin and bringing her back to the group, as it sounds from what you experience, that she may be the last member left of that group that sort of split off. And there was some mixed opinions amongst your party around that. Unsure. Cash in particular, obviously having some strong feelings there. As we left, your group was sort of ready to sort of settle in for the night and to make the most of this hospitality. And you sort of from the mountain top where you are, you sort of looked deeper into the forest, knowing that was the sort of direction you headed into if you were to follow Father Mathis' advice and to head towards this supposed shadow elf city in the centre of the forest. And even from the sort of mountain top you were stood on, looking towards sort of deeper into the forest, there were no signs of the city. Wherever it is still some distance away from where we are currently. Which kind of wrapped things up for where we left things. So as we left things off, it was sort of very early afternoon. I think the consensus among the group is that you would sort of rest up anyway. But if there was anything else anyone wanted to do today, obviously, I suppose now's the time.
Yeah, I sent you a message actually after that session or the day after or something, and you didn't reply. I tried to spend some time communicating with Shanti about guidance as to whether to go back or to go forward. And I was wondering, what's the connection feel like here, and is it, I can't remember the last time I tried to deeply connect with it. It might have been Pear Trees, but if it wasn't in Pear Trees, if we didn't remember doing it in Pear Trees, it would have been pre-campaign.
Yeah, so
how's it different?
Yeah, the last time you sort of really tried to make this like a proper deep connection with your goddess, you were unaware of the sort of deeper situation and this situation where she's obviously been replaced and imprisoned somewhere. And that probably colours the situation to some degree. When you're by the shrine up on the sort of mountainside up here, you can feel the presence of Shanti, or the sort of general sort of feel, but it's weak. It's not convincing. It's certainly not as strong as you have experienced it in the past. It's quite hard to tell whether that is because you are sort of removed up on this sort of space, removed from the forest and a bit outside of her natural domain. If it is maybe coloured by what you know now versus the last time you did it, but there's no that you're able to sort of ruminate on your relationship with her and your sort of understanding and maybe even concern about the current situation, but there's no two-way communication here. Even though you wouldn't expect direct communication, you would normally kind of hope for some kind of even just sort of a subtle guidance or reassurance in what it is you're looking for. And really, this is very much like talking into a telephone that isn't connected.
All right. In which case, at some point, I will talk to the rest of the party and say that I've come to the conclusion that I think we should press on. I looked for guidance and it wasn't there, and my heart says that Shanti's in grave danger, and going forward is for the greater good, even if it pains me to leave this place without one of its children. However, Sam, that's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
But is that actually allowed
Yes, yeah. Hopefully, always made it clear to you guys.
No, not for you. I mean for me.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
One second. I'm trying to find my backstory. I found it the other day.
I have got your backstories in
And I
my
can't
pile of
find it.
notes here. I mean, I can't see any. There's nothing that I can recall from any of your sort of character anathema, etc., which would kind of force you to not make that decision, especially with kind of Shanti being your driving reason, I suppose.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that's what I came to the conclusion of as well.
I mean, yeah, looking back again over the notes that I have got, and everything, yeah, there's nothing. You know, it's if you had no other concerns, I think it would probably be natural to think that Halloran's the sort of person that probably would want to go looking for this missing member of the tribe or
Yeah,
last member of the tribe, etc. But I think, yeah, you are aware there are certainly bigger situations at play,
yeah.
and equally, your party has certainly got mixed reasons for why you may not want to waylay your own plans for that person. Yeah.
Actually, looking at my backstory, one of my edicts is that I respect choices others make for their own lives. So I could argue that they've chosen freedom,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
and I
think that's
shouldn't.
fair.
And anathema is forcing somebody to act a certain way. So you could argue that, yeah. Although I think also helping them out, because there's also there's the work. Yeah. Anyway, fine. As long as you're happy and you don't think it breaks my sort of edicts and anathema, then I think that's what I want to suggest to the party, that we carry on towards the purple and onwards that way. I'll be back in 1 sec.
Well, Darius thinks if we find them, the most likely thing is Cash will just attack and try and killing them. So it's probably best to avoid them.
I can see why someone would feel that way.
Yeah, me too. On that, at some point during the day or the afternoon, evening, Joe wants to find, is it Ren?
Yes.
And she will spend a little time asking her about Marin.
Yeah.
Is it true that Idgar is Marin Idgar's child?
She tells you Marin is not Idgar's child. Marin's parents were a part of this same group or tribe of the family. She tells you that Marin's parents were early victims of the shadow elves, as they kind of after Shanti sealed Needham's Grove off, the shadow elves very quickly began to kind of assert their own dominance and control over the forest. Marin's mother was the first member of this particular tribe that was killed by the Shadow Elves. Marin's father was kind of driven to sort of to revenge, essentially. Maybe a path that he sort of laid for his daughter to follow. And led some of the other members of the tribe to go and get revenge immediately, something which cost a large amount of the members of the tribe, which was very quickly the driving factor to Idgar moving the group on and looking to find a safe haven, which over time eventually led them to this mountain where they are now. She tells you that she thinks Idgar was the son of the previous elder of this particular tribe anyway, so it was always sort of destined for leadership and for a kind of elder role anyway. But she believes he took on kind of personal responsibility for a lot of the younger members of the tribe who found themselves orphaned after that.
And then she'll go on to ask more about Marin as a child, what she was like, etc. Just to learn more about her.
As a young child, she was somewhat destined, it seemed, to kind of follow a similar path to her mother. She was quite into some of the more some of the more sort of caring aspects of the town. So she did a sort of cooking, that sort of things like that. Following those things, she showed a keenness to do more of the things that her father had done before he had gone, and started to take far more. Although she had some sort of hunting experience, a far more sort of hands-on sort of approach to that sort of stuff. And Idgar did encourage that whilst they were still in the forest, even when they were on the move. But as the group sort of headed up the mountain and found themselves up here out of the forest, that became initially they would sometimes go hunting into the forest still, and once they had began sort of setting up their own, they have like some farms and livestock even up on the mountainside here. As it became less and less important for them to go down there, they stopped doing that, and perhaps that is one of the things that led to the eventual, this group sort of splintering and leaving. The fact that they were sort of being taken away entirely from the forest. But yeah, Ren tells you that all the members of that group, the Fawn Watch they called themselves, they were all sort of changed from the children she knew versus the teens they were when they left. But Marin especially was somebody that just had some kind of rage inside her that wasn't going to be solved on this mountain.
Okay. She doesn't really say a lot, but kind of takes it all in. She can definitely see her. Okay, yeah, that's what she wanted.
Cool. Anything else anybody else wants to do particularly?
We're agreed. We're waiting till morning to do anything, right?
Well, yeah, I suppose that was my main choice. Like, either do we want to do something now, or did you all want to at least make use of the facilities they've offered you here for the night, etc. Yeah.
For me, I'm just spending it communing and what have you.
Yeah, my hope
I
is
think
that we're staying here overnight.
Yeah, I think staying the night makes sense.
Because I'd like to find what's his name, the guy in charge, Idgar, in the evening, possibly once everyone else isn't around.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I'm happy to do that whenever.
That's cool. Okay. So yeah, you all sort of go about your own business, either settling down or resting up, having some of these conversations. And yeah, Adsalor, you visited Idgar's home previously anyway. You were talking, and yeah, you make your way back away from the party as everyone's sort of eating and settling down for the evening. And yeah, as you sort of knock on the door, and the door is open anyway, and Idgar looks up and sees you as he's eating his own meal, and he asks you to come in and to sit down. And as you do, you see he's got a bowl of looks to be like a pretty basic looking, but quite a thick, almost like a broth type stew or something. And he pulls out a very simple sort of wooden ladle and pours some into a wooden bowl and puts it down on the table and says to you, "Come in, please, and eat if you need to."
That's very kind, thank you. And I go in and I sit down, and I'm ever so polite, so I will pick up the bowl of food as well. I was hoping to pick your brain a little bit, if you don't mind. I can come back later if it's easier.
No. You are our guests. How
You
can we-
you know this forest better than probably anyone I've met. I think is fair to say.
Our people and our ancestors have tended the forest and walked every inch of this forest for longer than your kind have been here.
I've had questions for a long time and not really had anyone to ask them to. And it feels like you might be the right place to do that.
I wonder if you may be putting a little too much importance on my understandings, but if I can help you, I will.
I'm looking for someone. And I wonder if you might recognize the name, or at least have heard of them.
I can try my best.
I'm looking for someone called Lizelle.
And you see he stops, and you see sort of... So it doesn't seem to be an immediate reaction. He sort of, his eyes sort of move to the side a little as he sort of... You can see he's sort of recollecting. He says to you, Lizelle, I don't believe so. Who is this person? What is your relationship? Is this someone you've lost?
It's not exactly. It's someone I've never found. I have this condition, to put it lightly. Something happened a fair while ago, and she's linked somehow, and I need to find out how. And I think I need to find her, and I think she's here, in the grove.
The grove is a very large and very difficult place. If something or someone does not want to be found, there are few better places in Fentos than Neelam's Grove to go missing. This is unclear from your language whether you are seeking understanding, assistance, or payback.
I don't believe in payback. I don't believe in vengeance. I don't think you can live like that. I seek answers. I seek maybe a fix, a cure, but I just seek her.
Well, you're to be commended. Many see revenge or payback as answers. The fact that you are beyond that suggests that you are maybe further along the path than you believe you are. I'm not truly sure if I could say the same for your orc companion.
No, I think you might be right.
This afternoon I sensed some tension in your group.
We had difference of opinions towards the Co's. Kasha was not the only one to be granted the boon, curse, depends on perspective, of an echo.
Is that the condition you're looking to understand?
No.
You have something else troubling you?
I pull back my hood.
And you see there is a immediate kind of move back of the head as he sort of takes in, and he quickly sort of moves his head back in, leans back in again, and says, "Sorry, it's not fear or judgment, just surprise. I've not seen one of your kind in a long time. You were created by this Lysel?"
Edited by
Edited.
Lysel.
Flesh warping, as they come to call it, is a far older practice than any scientific name that may be given in the streets and places your kind walk outside of the Grove. That's just a current term for the kind of melding which has always taken place in nature through natural or nefarious means. Are you seeking understanding, or are you seeking reversal?
Not sure I'll know until I have it in front of me.
How long
It's-
have you been as you are?
Nearly 4 years.
I'm familiar with these kinds of techniques, but nothing would give me more fear than to give you false hope, or even worse, incorrect tidings. My understanding is that these situations tend to be very irreversible, and my assumption would be if one had been afflicted in your situation for that amount of time, the path back may be well hidden at this point. But without finding the one who did this, I do not know. So you have followed this person here, or you've returned to them?
It's difficult. I have so many memories of life before this, of what it was like to be normal, but I've found something I shouldn't in Ellersmere Grove. Something that I wasn't supposed to see, something I wasn't supposed to walk into. And I don't know whether it was her, or I don't know whether it was just someone else. But ever since, I've had a draw to be here and to find answers to whatever it is. And she's in the middle of that.
He smiles and he says, "Curious story, and always more the curious to see two people from the same parts of your world in the Grove. Ellesmere,
Yeah.
we don't concern ourselves with the politics and the names and the temporary flags you wave outside of the forest. I've seen this part of the world claimed by men, and I've seen it claimed by halflings. I've seen it claimed by creatures before they were here, which you could barely imagine. That's what our people have seen, but we will still pick up some understanding of events outside of the forest, or at least we did before we were closed off. I've met a hunter from Ellesmere before. An older man, but proficient. One of the finest bowsmen I think I've ever seen. He came this way. It must have been maybe 7 winters ago. He came this way saying that he had caused a wrong, and that he needed to escape from that. Strange sometimes, the whole world outside of this forest, and yet sometimes you may find yourself speaking to neighbours at different times. It's funny how fate works.
It is indeed. Tell me, this hunter that you saw, did he have a name?
Yes. His name was Adam. He was a quiet man. Did not say him a lot. We found him injured, actually. We took him in, and he stayed with us for the best part of 3 weeks before he decided that he had to keep running from whatever it was he was trying to escape. I've not seen him since. All I know was he said that it would keep following him, and he didn't want to bring trouble to our door.
Be able to tell me the direction you thought he headed? Just if I was to try and follow the trail.
The last time I saw him, we let him down the same basket we brought you up on, and he made his way. It's been some time. He never told us where he was going, but we watched him as best we could, and he was heading somewhere to the west.
Refreshing my memory, is that deeper into the forest or back out?
The direct deep path would be to head more or less directly north from where you are currently.
Okay.
I mean, looking from
the
mountain,
straight back out.
No, from the mountain where you are currently, looking to the west, there is a lot of forest. You can't see where the forest ends still, but it's certainly not that's not the same route the rest of your group are currently talking about going.
No, fine.
And your group you travel with, are they aware of your condition?
They've seen, yes. Whether that means they're aware, who knows? But they've certainly seen.
And you were one of the copied ones. Was that correct?
Yeah.
Your echo, were they as you were before?
as I am now.
And as you say that, his head tilts immediately. That's strange. That's very strange. We had... One of the first times we encountered those copies ourselves, one of my longest friends in our group sadly lost most of his right leg to a boar years ago. One of the first, more than anything, the first moment I knew something had changed, it was not with him, was when he walked back into town from a hunting trip, back into our camp with 2 legs. Every time we have seen one of those copies, they have been like taking a copy of what you were or were intended to be before fate and time intervened. The fact that yours seem to be you now and not you as you were suggests something has changed along the way.
Suggests maybe the process has changed. They're getting better.
Or their intentions have changed.
When
You-
we left
Go on.
when we left Pear Trees, it seemed as though they were trying to replace key individuals.
That was long our concern. Initially, I wondered if they were just confused natural elements themselves who were taking on our form to ingratiate themselves. But I came to agree with you that they seemed to be, rather than reflecting us, they were looking to replace us.
Yeah.
The only thing we could never agree upon or really understand was the connection between those copies and the shadow elves and their husk of a pretender. The shadow elves, they follow and they worship and they work for that false goddess. But these copies, it was never clear. You encountered the copies outside of the forest. What about the elves, the shadow elves?
Every shadow elf we found that was in Pear Trees was almost machine-like, I would say. Like it was just following a set of instructions. They didn't think. They just did.
I've been out of the forest for a long time, but I've seen many of the shadow elves. I've seen their vicious acts. The one thing I've never heard is a sound from them. They never seem to give orders, they never seem to have requests. They just seem to enact the desires of her. and he's finished sort of drinking, and it's sort of going through this sort of broth at this point. He puts his own wooden spoon down into the bowl, and he sort of sits back in his chair for a moment. Then he says to you, I don't know what the situation is or what the intention is of the false goddess or of the shadow elves or of the copies or of you and your friends. All I know is that this world has changed much in the time that the Famir have been here, but these last 15 years have been the coldest. To not feel the mother's touch for that period of time, you slowly begin to wonder why you do any of these things. I think for myself and for most of the others in this village that remember the times before all of this changed, I think we all are in agreement that that's a time and a way of life which is lost and will likely never return. We have been too slow or too reluctant to adapt to the new situation we find ourselves in. I hope that after 4 years you are not too far down a similar path.
So too.
He gets up at that point and he says, I must go and meet with Ren before the sun sets fully.
Of course, of course. I appreciate your time a lot. Thank you. Should the name suddenly ring a bell, do just come find me.
Of course.
Can I
Go on.
sense motive?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
had
Yeah,
a question
go
about
for
the
it.
name again. If I can find it on the list. There it is. Oh, good. Oh no, actually, to be fair, plus 12. That is okay.
So you're sort of seeing if they were sort of hiding anything from that name or anything.
Yeah,
like that,
I
so
want to know if they're hiding the fact that they know what that name is.
Yeah, there is a sense of sort of openness. There, as you sort of ask that second question, he maintains eye contact with you. He doesn't break eye contact or look to the side or anything. And even as he replies and tells you if anything else comes to mind, or I would even ask Ren if anything triggers from that name, I promise you'll be the first to know.
Thank you. I go say hello to the trees.
Anything else for anyone? Okie dokie.
Is there a library here?
No, there's not like a library or anything. Some of these people they have some very basic sort of journals and books, but it's almost, even the few books you find, they are almost all, anything you see or anything anyone mentions, if you ask around, it is all really personal diaries or journals. They tell you that the idea of collected knowledge is shared through conversation. That's the way the Famir have always done it. Everyone all good?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. In which case,
I think so, yeah.
there shouldn't be. I doubt anyone's expended anything, but just in case, you can rest for the night.
I'm pretty sure I used some magic spells at some point to make myself nearly die.
Yeah, there might have been a few things you said. It was a relatively roleplay heavy session last time. Yeah, there might have been a few bits moving around. Yeah, you're all given sort of space to. Although the village is quite well established, you quickly sort of discover there aren't like kind of personal houses. Everything is kind of shared as it's making do with the situation. But there are enough beds around that you are all welcome and able to rest up for the night. And yeah, you wake just after sunrise the following day. And yeah, I guess it comes down to what it is you folks want to do particularly. Obviously, anyone's got any start of day preparations, spells, anything, can also do those if you want to change anything you have got.
In their general area, I will leave some of my own personal books there that I've written, just so they've got a mini library. Some Darius own made books.
Nice.
All on herbs.
And some of the reaction actually is really positive. Like these are natural people who obviously respect sort of flora, fauna, herbs, all these sorts of things, and even you can see to some of them, even just seeing some of your sketches and writings and musings on some of the herbs you've encountered during your long and storied career, Darius, are quite exciting actually to them. Obviously, you have quite a sense of nostalgia to some of them. Yeah, they actually seem really extremely grateful.
Darius here to help the world a better pace.
What's the plan as a party? What do you want to do?
I feel like we're going to be heading towards the middle, right?
Yeah,
Keep on walking.
that's the way the Guardian wants to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So early the next morning, you sort of awaken and you are fed by the familiar and well looked after. And you kind of let them, obviously you let them know your intentions are to move on. And Idgar Wren and a few of the other members of the town sort of walk you over to that sort of pulley based elevator to allow you to leave. Idgar very, very briefly does mention again to you, Adsalor, that he had fought further on that name you mentioned, and he had asked Ren as well. It didn't mean anything to them, but they would keep it in mind. They would ask around, and if they were blessed with your presence or company again, they will let you know if they hear anything. And he quickly adds to that. He does say to you, obviously, if you come across Marin on your travels and are able to bring her back, we will tell you anything we have learnt in the time you were gone. But I do understand that was a difficult request I made, and more importantly, you have your own situations to deal with. And as he sort of leads you around the mountain, round to the pulley system, you're sort of on some of the lower paths of the mountain settlement. And yeah, as you're sort of going down, you sort of reach that pulley system, and Idgar says goodbye to each of you, and wishes you luck. Ren also sort of says goodbye to each of you, gives each of you a brief blessing. As she reaches you, Darius, you were the last one she approaches, and she goes from each of the other members of the party, speaks to them, gives them these blessings. Then she comes to you, stands in front of you in silence for a few seconds, and then she says, best go on your way then. And just turns and walks back to the town.
Okay.
Idgar then reminds you all one final time that you are welcome to return anytime you wish. You are members of this tribe as long as you remain uncorrupted by the darker elements of the forest. They sort of get you back onto that pulley system, and they watch as you're lowered down. And yeah, you get lowered down to the mountain where you can all step off, and then they raise that back up. You can see a few of the members of the village stay watching as you begin sort of making your way back down the mountain path. As you do, can I get from each of you a secret perception check?
Sure, that was a nat 20. You're welcome.
That was a nat 1.
Phelan and Adsalor, you as this platform's being lowered down and you sort of reach the mountain, you two are immediately focused on the route back down the mountainside and looking for a way back down to the forest, and then to sort of make your way around the mountain, really, so you can start heading in that northerly sort of direction your group's agreed on. You two are quite focused on that. Halloran, Kasha, and Darius, the three of you, whilst those two are sort of making those initial sort of looking around at thing, you look back up again at the sort of villagers and sort of give your goodbyes, give some nods, etc. Double check numbers. Darius and Kasha, as you are both looking up, you catch this sort of glint in the corner of your vision. You can see up on the mountain, raised a little further up than where everyone else is, up where those two shrines were, the shrine to Shanti and the shrine to Lavanda. There is a sort of metal glint that catches your eye momentarily as a sort of reflection of like the sunlight off this metal. And then you see a large, winged, armoured creature of some description from those ledges where the two shrines are, takes flight and then just begins flying easterly.
Can we tell what kind
wait
of
around to see what that thing was.
Can
We
you tell
forgot.
what kind of creature it is?
Can you tell what kind of creature it is?
Yeah.
For Kasha and Darius, if you can both make for me a secret nature check.
I meant to stick around so that we could speak to the weird armoured bloke that sits there every day.
Weird armoured bloke?
We got told about him last week. He turns up and prays at the shrine.
Turns up
Every
praises
morning,
the shine of the Morning Lord.
Oh.
Is armoured, has wings. He seemed interesting. I thought he's probably worth talking to. Apparently he doesn't say anything though. So might have been pushing our luck.
Yeah, and the two of you, like I say, there's the two of you spot it, and you both sort of try to see if you make out any finer details. Darius, no offense, mate, your eyes at this point, they are, it's very bright. They've deteriorated somewhat over the years you've been travelling, and yeah, you can sort of make out the shape and the armour. You don't get a lot. Kasha, you can see a little clearly, and you are critically confident. This is an Asimar.
Is it a what?
An Asimar, an angel, essentially, yeah.
Angel, yeah. Something celestial watches over the village.
I wonder.
East. What do you wonder?
A lot of things. I more wonder if that's someone that we know.
Oh, you think it's 3 kobolds in a...
They come with a suit of armor.
Yeah,
Well, I clearly just said it was an excellent.
Could be.
So, yeah. Probably not. Cool. So intentions. You guys wanted to. So you guys want to head north, deeper into the forest, yeah?
towards the purple. That's towards the purple, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, go towards the big purple city of death. That seems like an idea.
The big purple city of death.
I mean, have you got a better name for it for us?
No, I guess not. No.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Sorry.
Big purple city of death is fine.
Okay. So, making your way around the mountain itself is quite easy to do. You've got the mountain there. It's kind of hard to get lost just going around the mountain. So yeah, it doesn't. It takes you a couple of hours to sort of get around the mountain itself to the sort of northern edge of it. But that's quite easy to do. From there, you are intending to head sort of deeper into the forest. Who's leading the way for this?
Look over at the Guardian.
Not the forest, no. I was thinking you. I'm good in wide open spaces.
I mean, I'm pretty confident with tracking through a forest. It's something I'm relatively good at.
Yeah, it's either Asla or Kasha, right?
Cool.
Kasha's not volunteering. She's still quite withdrawn.
Yeah, in Asla, I'm definitely not volunteering. I will help, but it's not my skill set.
That's cool. Adsalor, if I can get then from you a secret survival check, please.
Yep.
Lovely.
Grits in the same day.
How did you know?
Oh yeah. And he's the only one who's untrained. Even he's trained in survival. Well, I think Thornley might be trained in everything.
I'm trained in survival.
Cool. Yeah. So your group begins sort of heading in a sort of pretty much direct northerly route, and in particular, you want to head towards that sort of purple spot you'd seen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're able to travel through the morning for around sort of 3 hours after you've got around the edge of the mountain and start sort of heading back into the forest. And it's quite similar to arriving at the mountain itself. Once you start getting back into the deeper parts of the forest and sort of outside under the canopy, it's surprising how quick the mountain becomes harder to see and then just sort of disappears under just sort of this thick, deep canopy of leaves and trees overhead. And that comfort and welcoming presence of the village is very quickly sort of behind you. As you sort of reach sort of middle of the day, can I just get another survival check from you, Adsalor, as you carry on leading the party and navigating? And plus, as we're an hour in,
You happen to know it.
for some
Third
lovely
natural
rolls,
20.
a hero point for Adsalor.
Oh, thanks.
That's alright. It's one of those things. For no reason at all, just give me a moment to roll some dice.
Yay, combat.
Mm.
Let me
The
shoot some
hero-
things.
The
Hero
hero
point's going
point
to come in handy.
because he's suggesting you should hero point when you do the survival roll.
I will say I only have 17 arrows left.
Hmm.
So things are going to have to get real creative.
Can you not craft some?
Ah, fuck knows. I don't know how that works.
We were just in a town. You could have probably brought some.
I didn't see a shop.
It's also probably worth mentioning as well. I don't know if people who's been doing what during their sort of daily preparations, but there is somebody that can craft magical ammunition each morning. I don't know if they have been doing that.
God, that would be handy, wouldn't it? Can you imagine if there was someone that could do that?
Just pointing that out there, though.
It's
Isn't
not
it-
me, right?
Do it, sorry.
Wait, does it not stay every time I do it?
No, it's because it's like a daily thing you can do. Yeah, they disappear at the end of each day, which is why they aren't in your inventory anymore. Yeah.
Oh,
If you forgot to do it, you can do it now. It's fine.
I thought like it was staying, so I was like, I don't want to craft too many.
Yeah,
so
no. Because pretty much anything that is like some kind of date, same as like in the last campaign, Charlie was able to you were able to make I forget what they're called, the single use items, weren't you, like the consumable talismans each day. Pretty much anything that you can make on demand as part of your daily stuff tends to be that they are like temporary items that disappear. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Would I be allowed to craft?
Yeah, of course you
now?
can. Yeah. You can just do it from your sheet.
Okay,
It's all
yeah,
good.
yeah.
I didn't know if you had or not, but I assumed not. But then Jake mentioning being low on ammunition made you remember that that's something that some of you can do.
Yeah, actually, I can actually do it with snares as well, but I keep forgetting to do it.
Oh yes, yeah. You've got the snare master thing. Haven't you?
But I can't. I'm not doing it right now because my brain isn't working. But
That's fine. That's all good.
I won't know exactly how it works because I don't know how the free stuff works. But yeah.
Cool. So you, Adslaw, you carry on leading the group through the day, and you get to sort of late afternoon with no issues. You get into the point where darkness is starting to kind of pull in. As a group, I guess it's your choice, and if you want to carry on sort of going, or if you want to stop for the night, or what you want to do.
What do we want to do?
Kasha should continue.
I think we should maybe look for somewhere to camp if it gets too late.
Okay.
Or we can make a hearty meal.
Oh, that's pretty.
You guys want to camp up for the night?
Probably want to find a decent spot first.
Yeah, I mean, last time you pushed through the darkness, it got a bit difficult, didn't it?
Not very good in the dark.
Yeah.
Kill
So
eyes.
whoever wants to be responsible for finding a campsite can make a secret survival check for me.
Who's
I
best
found a
at
good
that?
one last time.
It is.
Who's best at survival?
Kasha or it might be Kasha or Darius actually.
Cash and
So
Darius are both tied.
I've got plus 10. Kasha is plus 11. So one of
He's
you
plus
guys
11
should
as
go.
well. Darius is plus 11. He can find a nice spot.
Go on then,
Um,
Darius.
He's surprisingly good at finding good herb spots for nice snacks and protection.
Is he?
Apart from that nat one he just rolled.
I mean, you've got a hero point. Do you want a hero point that?
Well, you said it now, so.
Sake.
Oh wow. Okay, let's drop a really difficult combat now. Darius, as Adslaw's sort of leading you all deeper into the forest, Darius is the one that first spots a nice sort of secluded area. It's not like a cave, but it's sort of sheltered a little. It looks comfortable. And it looks pretty well defensible, somewhat similar to the place you stayed actually 2 nights ago when you're at the foot of the mountain. And it's kind of like you've got like a comfortable back, which means you've only got sort of one side to sort of have to protect overnight. It looks pretty comfortable, yeah. Which is all good. In which case, all I need is 3 people to take watches for the night.
I'll take one.
I'll do one.
There you go, that's right.
Darius will go to bed first, but it'll take the last watch.
Cool. So was it Phelan, Adsel, or Darius? Was that?
Yeah.
Oh no, I wanted well first. So
Cool.
Darius can have a good night's sleep if he wants.
He is old. He does need to sleep.
Phelan, Adsel, and Halloran. Cool. If I can get a secret perception check from each of you that are on the overnight duty, then. Nice. Anyone want to hero point that? No. Cool. Okie dokie. Let's have a look. Cool. Yeah. So, what was the order of those watches? Sorry, again. Was it that order? So, Phelan, Adsel, or Halloran?
Sure, I'm easy.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you all settle in for the night. Phelan taking the first watch, Adsel on second watch, and Harry on the early watch for those who sleep through the night. Everyone sort of settles down. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay.
Dragon.
So, yeah, you all set down for the night. Everyone sort of, I've taken some more rations from your shared party sheet for everyone for the night. You settle in, everyone sort of eats up, settles down for the night, and Phelan takes the first watch of the night. And it's about an hour into your watch, Phelan, after everyone else has now settled down and gone to sleep. You're aware that everyone else sort of gets a bit quiet, and then you start to hear the sort of heavy breathing as everyone goes to sleep. And then the next thing you notice, Phelan, is that sort of that sort of slight jerk of the head and the noise as you catch your own breathing, as you are aware that you are also have just drifted off briefly and sort of brought yourself back to consciousness, and you shake your head quick as you sort of become aware, and you quickly sort of look around. It's hard to tell, Phelan. You feel really tired and heavy-eyed, and you have that momentary panic where you're a bit unsure. Have I just drifted off for a moment? Have I been asleep for longer than I was aware? And you sort of think to yourself for a moment. You consider it, and then no. It's all good. It must be okay. Phelan, can you make?
Yeah.
Can you make for me?
Oh God.
Death save.
What are you saying? No, it's all good. It's all good. Phelan, can you make a reflex save for me, please?
Where is that? How do I do that?
It's on the
Where
left side of your character sheet. Do you want to use a hero point?
is- Okay.
No. Okay, fine. There we go. Fine.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't forcing it. I was only asking.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so Phelan, yeah, you hear everyone else fall asleep. You feel your own sort of head and breathing go for it, and you sort of pull yourself back up, and you sort of stop for a moment. You consider whether you would fall asleep, but no, you're pretty sure you're awake. Like it was just a momentary sort of lapse. Well, that's what you thought anyway. And before you have a sort of moment to think about it further, you suddenly realise why you sort of jerked up and why you were asleep, and it's that tickle and movement up your leg as something grabs you. Right, 1 second while I set up combat. For everyone that was asleep, I will, whilst I briefly set up this combat, I will need you to go into your character sheets and remove your armour for me, please.
What if I like how it feels when I sleep in it?
Well, you can sleep in armour, but then you wake up fatigued and with none of the benefits of a rest. So I'm assuming you haven't been doing that. Right? I haven't been asking, to be fair.
Have I taken that off? Is that how that works? Does my armor class just not change?
1 second.
Oh, it
Certainly
goes up
should
by
do.
2. It goes up by 2.
It goes up by 2 when you take the armor off.
No, when I have the armor on, my
Oh, when
AC
you put
is 2 better.
Mine's
That's
6
it.
better.
I think mine is.
Mine just stays the same.
Yeah, but to be fair, Darius, your AC is piss poor anyway. Your AC and HP compared to the rest of the party is mad.
Has Darius actually broken 50 yet on HP?
No.
No.
Have you not?
Darius doesn't even have armour on. He's got clothing.
Well, just for the benefit of everyone, because I know what kind of roleplay you are, Shane, whilst everyone else has got to have their armour off, can you have your clothes on?
Well, you just told me to take my clothes off.
Only because I've played enough role-playing games with you to know that I think I should insist on that.
You just told me to take my armour off. My armour is my clothing.
Is it? Right, well, let's drop...
I'm now intrigued as to whether you take your wig off.
Just leaves his hat on.
That makes sense. Yeah, so... Yeah, so unarmoured, Darius has a higher armour class than Halloran.
That doesn't even work.
Well,
Isn't it?
I am now the
Phelan's
tank.
still wearing. Yeah, Phelan is still wearing his armour, I assume.
Yes, yeah. I'm assuming you wore yours, Phelan. It's probably for the best.
So,
Right, let's bring you all onto this.
What is that?
A good question, Phelan. So let's.
Oh. Yeah, if everyone can roll initiative for me.
That's not a bad initiative for Kasha, considering she's asleep.
Yep. Well, I'm just wondering whether she, perhaps she wasn't asleep. She's perhaps just lying there brooding.
What's going on here?
Yeah, it's not bad. Could have beaten it by 2. Oh.
Perfect. Yeah, so Phelan, yeah, you are on watch, and yeah, you doze off for a moment, and then as you sort of wake up, you sort of look around, and then you sort of feel something yanking and sort of creeping up your leg, and then as you look down, you can see this large, and this thing is large, and it kind of, you can see it's like it's got these 3 like long pincers coming out of its mouth, and they are just like stroking up the side of your leg, Phelan, as you sort of jerk and sort of become aware of its presence. we will drop into initiative. Anyone who was asleep, you are asleep currently, and assuming this first round is noisy, it might be. At that point, you will come in at your initiatives on the next round. For context, Phelan, your perception was a 1, and then on my D100 roll, it was also a 1. You sort of feel that you sort of see it, and then as you make that reflex save and you jerk your leg back in panic, Phelan, as you suddenly become aware that something is there. Immediately, these mandibles just reach out and bite at your leg. That is a hit.
30.
Lucky you had your armor on.
13 damage. Bites immediately, sort of jerks. As you sort of jerk your leg back, it immediately reacts by biting at your leg, Phelan. Snaps down onto you, and as you do, you feel the pierce, and then you feel the burn. There's this acidic burning as well on the wound. It's really painful. And it immediately just grasps down and just closes those mandibles again, just trying to sort of hold on tighter. That one, however, you're able to pull, you jerk back out of the way, and the creature pass it to you.
Am I supposed to be blind?
It is the middle. It is okay. Dark. It's the middle of the night. I assumed. Right, I should have asked. I guess. Would you guys have some light source up?
A fire, perhaps.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can do that. Give me one moment. Yeah, I suppose it would be odd for you to just camp in darkness if some of you can't see in the dark, wouldn't it? So.
Do I not have what's it called? Dark vision.
I believe so. Give me one sec.
See why he fell asleep now, because he wasn't sat by the fire, he sat in the dark bit.
Can't trust him. Let's go that light. Cool. What was your question, sorry, Phelan? Do you have dark vision?
Yeah.
I don't think so, to be fair. Not that I recall.
Okay.
I think you've got low light vision.
Oh.
As a drow. Let's have a look. Yeah, you've got low light vision, but not full dark vision, I'm afraid.
Okay, that's fine.
But you should be able to see now because you have some low light, thanks to this campfire.
Right.
Yeah, Phelan, it is your turn. You will be prone, sat on the floor if you're at the start.
I don't need to stand up.
You don't need to stand up. Okay, nice.
Oh, my gun's already loaded, apparently.
Are you?
Yeah, that's cool.
Let me do that. That's better.
Yeah, I'll just shoot it.
Okay, yeah, that is a critical hit. You can roll some damage.
Oh.
Nice. Okay, so that is 20 damage. It failed at your critical specialization, so it is also stunned 1. Although I might have just put stunned 2 on. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's not too bad for your first action. You respond pretty well, Phelan. Yeah.
And then I'll reload.
The sound of that gun is definitely enough to wake anyone up that wasn't awake, by the way.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Yeah, fair. Cool. In which case, we will skip through these other turns. Kasha.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. So there's been a loud bang,
It certainly
and
has.
I'm assuming that thing is big enough that we can sort of. It's pretty obvious.
Oh yeah,
Kasha.
yeah. It's so in length. It's the sort of length of its body is probably around about 6 feet, and then as it stands up in height, it's about 4 feet in height. So it's more about the length of it than the sort of height of it. But yes, it is large. You can see it.
I accidentally clicked on the next turn thing, so I wasn't opening my character sheet, which is what I was intending to do, because I can't remember the range. Oh, I can't believe that the range of this would be less than. Oh yeah, plenty of time. Okay, so yeah, Kasha kind of opens her eyes and looks around and very quickly sees that thing, and will start off by, because it's quite a long way away, looks over at it, lifts a finger at it, and then casts a lightning bolt. I'm pretty sure I can avoid Adsalor with it.
Nice, okie dokie.
Well, and because I can
Get me.
start the starting point. So no, the starting point isn't going to be until down there. Ooh, let me,
That is a failure.
lovely. So I can roll some damage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on, big numbers, big 12s, big 12s.
Ooh, interesting. I know. That's not bad.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, failing.
That was big 12s.
You're awoken by that moment as you get that panic. You get that bite on your leg, and you immediately pull out the gun, let go of the shot, which echoes through around this sort of area where you're all making camp. The creature sort of takes that heavy hit, and then before you even have a chance to do anything else, failing, you just see the crack, and it illuminates the darkness. The lightning bolt crackles through the air. Some of the electricity you don't get hurt, but you feel the burn and the heat of it as it bursts by you. And this creature is just fried and immediately slumps down and is like smoking in front of you as we drop out of initiative.
Just out of interest, that lightning bolt was apparently heightened 1.
Yes.
Why was it heightened 1? Because it's level 3 spell?
Because you are... What level are you guys? You're level 5, aren't you?
5, yeah. Because be heightened 1,
No,
I'd need to cast it at
No, it
12th
wasn't
level.
heightened. 4d12
Oh,
is the
okay.
basic, isn't it?
I don't know. I thought it was 3d12, but I'm just reading on the little badge thing on the
Yeah,
chat.
yeah. A bolt of lightning strikes out with your hand, dealing 4d12 electricity, and then if it's heightened, you add an additional d12 for each heightened. But the basic's 4. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. In
Yeah,
which
you're
case, that's completely fine. Lovely. Well, that was.
Yeah, I will let however you guys react to being awoken like this.
Well, Kasha will jump to her feet and look around, expecting other things to attack us.
Yeah, and you all sort of quickly jump up and have a look, and there is as the sort of quietness is broke, you can hear there is movement in the trees, in particular, almost like bird life. You can hear sort of all reacting to those 2 booming sounds that have just gone off, but there's nothing you can spot around.
I don't think Darius even gets up. I think he kind of looks around, just goes back to sleep.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
reasonable.
What
I
is
think
this
I-
thing?
Make a secret nature check for me, Kasha.
Boop. That one.
Nice. Yeah, you take a look at it, Kasha. You don't recognise this creature. You're not quite sure. You can see it's got like sort of almost like carapace armor, and you can see even as it's laying there, it's got these 3 mandibles around its mouth, and they are sort of dripping with this like sort of acidic ooze of some type. But you don't really recognise it at all, unless you want to hero point it.
No. Cash is kind of poking it a little bit and looking at it, and then she'll look over at Phelan and say, "So this thing crept up on you?"
Yeah, I didn't realise it was there.
Did it bite you?
Yeah. Not badly, I think, though.
She'll sort of squat down and just sort of grab your leg without really asking and to take a look at it. And then she'll just do the thing where she just kind of produces a berry from somewhere. She'll cast Cornucopia. If you would like to click consume all produce on that, I think that you can have that healing.
Yay.
Yeah, failing you immediately. You feel that sort of acidic burn sort of lessens, and Cash is able to close up the wound.
Flavor should also rub some dirt onto your leg.
All good. Anything else?
Yeah. Well, Cash will have a little look. Does it look like it just crept up on him? Can we see from?
Yeah, as you sort of come across it, as you make it, you can have a look. As you get closer, you can see they're not too far away from Phelan, just a little bit closer to the sort of tree line, just out of the sort of edge from the campfire where it gets a bit darker. There's actually, you can see where it looks like this creature sort of burrowed up from underground. You can see there's like an opening, like a sort of hole where it looks like it's come up and then made its way over in that direction.
Jasher will take a look at that, point it out to Phelan, and then grab a burning stick sort of from the fire, or get a branch and set fire to it. And then sort of just chuck that into the hole.
Yeah, and you sort of throw it down there. There's no other kind of sign of movement or any reactions. You don't hear any sound or anything. It doesn't look like, it doesn't open up into like a large tunnel or anything. It looks like it's just a creature that's sort of just burrowing sort of underground there. But yeah, rather than any kind of sign of like a larger sort of situation or anything. Yeah.
Then.
You staying on watch, Phelan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, Cathy just sort of says, well, maybe sit with your back to the fire.
Yeah.
Then she'll go back over to where she was sleeping.
Phelan, can you just make a secret perception check for me,
Oh,
just for the rest of your watch. Nice. As post that combat, as I kind of tricked you into a hero point, and you also managed to just wake up or come to your senses and immediately quickly hit that thing, I will give you a hero point back. Do you want a hero point that at all?
Oh no. Okay.
No, you don't have to. I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you at this point, Cormac.
Okay. Yeah, I won't.
Double bluff, do it.
But the Shane logic says all. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, everyone goes back to sleep, and you'll be glad to know that you make it through the rest of the night undisturbed, because everyone else didn't roll a 1 on their perception checks.
I'm not convinced Adslor ever actually woke up. You know.
I mean,
I think that entire episode may have happened without me even waking up.
it was pretty under control. In the morning, anybody, including Kasha, that wants to have another go at sort of identifying or looking into that creature can make a secret nature check for me.
Kasha's bothered.
Adslor wakes up and goes, "Whoa, what the fuck is that?" And
Well, that is.
Yeah, when you get up for your watch, I assume Faden doesn't even mention it. You just go to sit down, and all of a sudden you notice it, right?
I just sit over here, and I don't even really pay attention. Just sit this side and kind of watch. Go back to bed, and then wake up in the morning and realise there's a giant fucking thing there. So immediately we'll do a nature check and try and work out what the hell it is, because I've never seen it before.
Yeah, so Adslor, you don't recognise this either. Halloran, luckily you do. You look at this, you recognise this from back home. This is an ant crab, and these are they are pests of farmers. Farmers in particular hate these creatures. They are large, sort of the size of, like, in terms of like their total mass, almost like a small horse. And they sort of burrow underground. Never really found in like heavily settled places like towns or cities. Instead, quite often in more rural settings, especially anywhere where there's like livestock or any kind of like camps and things like that. Anything that they can sort of sense, essentially, they have very good like senses for like feeling tremors. Essentially, they can sort of, if one is nearby, they will be aware of you from your movement long before you're aware of them. One of the primary things you know about it as well, which in fact actually with your result, Halloween, you know quite a lot about this creature. But yeah, one of the most concerning things, which once you're sort of aware of it in the morning, you're able to sort of warn everyone about, is that these creatures, they have a habit of they are able to essentially destroy or very seriously damage like metal armors. If one of you had been bitten by that wearing it, your armor probably would have been in need of some quite heavy repairs.
Oh dear. Okay, I will pass the information on. Would I know from my history of them ways to sort of prevent them or ward them off, that kind of thing?
Sadly, there really isn't a lot. They are pests. Nothing really ever seems to scare them off or ward them off. The best solution back home that you were aware of, and that they would have used in sort of in the farmlands, the rural settings you come from, was whenever you become aware of one, it was kind of a ruthless attack of removing them as soon as possible. But yeah, not sure really what attracts them in the first place or what scares them off. It's more a case of just dealing with them once you're aware.
Okay, cool. I'll pass the information on, of course, but yeah, it's not too useful.
And yeah, because they are a relatively low level creature, and you rolled pretty well there, Halloran. If you happen to see one again, there's a lot of information in your bestiary about them now.
Okay, cool.
Nice. Anything else anybody wants to do? Or are we happy to carry on this morning?
I think happy to carry on. I'm guessing that 6 hours isn't enough to get my spell slot back.
It's a new day. Yeah, absolutely. It's today is new.
So I can
daily preparation. Yeah, I've been assuming daily preparation is like a sunrise thing for our group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Rather than like a bang on midnight.
In which case, that was free. Lovely.
Yeah. Very bad rolls to get there, but actually you guys made it seem like a waste of time even then making it happen. Adslaw, you leading the way again today?
Yes, sir.
If I can get a secret survival check from you, please.
Absolutely not. Just take my result from yesterday.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, again, under the sort of guide of Adslaw, you all again carry on sort of heading in the direction of where that sort of like purple glow was from that sort of northern direction, maybe slight sort of east veer, but pretty directly north. And yeah, you're able to travel pretty unbothered. Yeah, that's cool. And if I can get one more survival check from you, Adslaw, as you sort of head into the afternoon. Is pretty good. Yeah, and again, maybe I'd sort of lead you all more often. A pretty uneventful day. Again, you find yourselves again sort of reaching around sort of 7 p.m. as the sort of sun starts to sort of set down for the evening. Still no signs of this purple sort of area thing yet. Nothing you can see where you are, and you don't have the advantage of that sort of high vantage spot you had from the mountaintop. Do you want to carry on pushing further into the evening, or do you want to camp?
I guess we should probably camp.
Yeah. How many days were we away from the purple, roughly, did we estimate?
You suspected it was probably about maybe 2 days travel, 2 to 3 days.
Okay, so we're getting close to it now.
Yeah, you're not quite at the point where, like, by not being there, you're like, oh god, we're lost. But you would expect to, if you want to carry on in the exact same direction you've travelled for the last 2 days, and you reach another sort of sunset, you might want to start considering whether something's gone wrong with somebody leading you through the forest that hasn't led you through it previously.
Let's hope not. Fine, in which case I'm going to suggest that we rest up early and have a good night's rest before tomorrow. Because it might be a big day.
Yeah, that's all good.
Well, that's my theory anyway.
Yeah, that's fair. In which case, yeah, who wants to take watches tonight? Obviously Phelan.
I can.
I think that should be everyone else's choice. No, who wants to take watches?
Just don't fall asleep again. I'm happy to.
One for Halloran.
Kasha will
do one.
we'll take a watch.
Cool. Alright, if I can get a secret perception check from the three of you then, please. Yeah, it's all good. You make it through to the morning again. Technically, you can do morning preparations, but it looks like most people, didn't really have to do a lot during that day of travel. I've taken your rations out again, just so you all got. I don't know if anyone's got anything in their own stuff, but the stuff in the party stash now, you have. So each quantity of rations is enough for one person for a week, so it's in multiples of 7. You currently have 7, 14, 28. 31 rations left, and you're using 5 per day. So you're still pretty good for rations at the minute, but obviously you are starting to chew through those, literally. Same direction again? And is it the same leader?
Let's see why not.
I mean, nothing's gone wrong yet, so.
Well, the advantage of this great travel system is that I know if it has and you don't. So, yeah, Adsala, make a secret survival check for me.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes, as I say, just obviously where Halloran was sort of questioning it, just so you guys all thought you were about 2 days, 2.5 to 3 days maximum travel from that sort of purple lit area you'd seen previously. This is your 3rd day of travel now. Yeah, as you set out in the morning, you again following sort of Adsal's lead. After about 2 hours of travel, there's a few sort of questions around the party. You start to wonder if things are quite going to plan, but maybe no one's too vocal about it just yet. And as you sort of carry on through this morning, get about halfway through the morning, the forest begins to change slightly, and it begins to it thins out like the trees, and you start to come into more area of like sort of scrub and a bit of like almost like standing water in places. And Kasha, you notice very quickly the trees are starting sort of progressively as you're walking this direction. The trees are they start quite healthy. They start to get a bit more sickly. Then they're some of them becoming like bare and like look like they're barely hanging on. And the trees seem to be getting sicker and sicker. Can I get from everybody a secret nature check?
Secret nature. Woo.
I am one with nature.
Check your secret nature.
No, I always forget, but is it control?
Control, yeah.
Okay.
So, so no, I think the trees getting iller is perhaps a sign we're walking in the right direction.
Yeah. Kasha, you spot this, and the rest of you begin to sort of pick up on it a little. Adsalor, Halloran, Darius, nothing kind of springs out massively. You can also start. It's getting a bit obvious. The trees do look a bit sort of less healthy, and there's a lot less to them. And it is just sort of stumps or just like the body of the trees themselves. You're sort of seeing. Phelan, you in particular, you start sort of trying to keep an eye out for like that purple glow, any sign of it, and nothing picks out to you at all. You don't sort of pick up on the purple glow that you guys have been looking for. The air is warm and feels warmer than it had done sort of in previous parts of the forest you've been through. Nothing else really stands out. Kasha, the biggest thing to you is the silence. None of these trees and other plant life around you has any message, any response to anything you ask of them. It's not obviously previously when you asked for whether it was dangerous when we were at the base of the mountain, there was a reluctance to answer. Currently, anytime you reach out for anything around you, there's just an absence of response.
Yeah, this is unpleasant.
Doesn't
feel natural.
We're carrying on the same direction still.
What time is it?
Sort of mid to late morning, sort of about 9:30, 9:45.
Wait a minute. Kasha will. Actually, I don't know if it works. I'm just going to check how I can share senses with. Oh, no, it doesn't have a range. specifically. Okay, yeah. Kasha will get Thornleaf on her wrist and then whisper to him.
Yeah.
And then she'll sit down cross-legged and transfer her senses into Thornleaf, and then Thornleaf will start flying up.
Yeah.
In a sort of gentle circle until the idea being get, I don't know, 100 feet above the trees.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then look around.
Yeah, it doesn't even need to get quite that high, but gets up and starts looking around and can see. You once you get to this point, you can sort of share senses. You can get the sort of vision that Thornleaf has, and you become quite confident. Actually, okay, yeah, you guys you are on track, and actually, although you can't see it where you are, you can actually, as Thornleaf sort of raised up a little, Thornleaf can actually, as you're sort of sharing those senses and looking through their vision, you can see this sort of like purple tinge to the area of the forest you're in. There's like a very low sort of fog just hanging all around, and it's as I say, on the ground level where you all are, it's just that you can't even pick up on it. None of you are sort of aware of it, but actually looking down from Thornleaf now down towards the sort of area you're in, you can see it, and you can see that not far from where you are at all, probably less than an hour's walk at this point, there is this sort of large bog, sort of swamp area almost.
When Kasha will open her eyes and we'll pass that on. We're within the. You can't see it close to the ground, but we're within the edge of the purple mist, and it looks like the bog starts up ahead. We should go slowly. This is not a natural or a healthy place.
Happy to continue.
I think we probably have to.
Cool.
As a exploration activity,
yes,
Kasha is going to, I think, probably what's Scout do? No. Search. No. Sure, there was one that. Oh yeah, investigate.
Yeah.
Seek out information about your surroundings while travelling at half speed. So she is going to do that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
As we walk, which basically means she's now walking at about Darius's speed, I think.
That's cool. Yeah. If I can get you to make a secret nature check for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then Adsalor, as you carry on leading the group, if I can get you to make a secret survival check for me.
Done. Nailed it.
Yeah, of course you did. Do you want a hero point now?
No.
Cool. Yes. So you carry on in the sort of same direction. Now Cash has been able to give you a bit of reassurance as well that you're kind of in the right area. As Ad's sort of leading, everyone sort of slows their pace a little, partly as the sort of discomfort of the area grows, but also as Cash has kind of stopped and is trying to sort of take in, sort of investigate and understand what's going on around here. What you become aware of, Cash, as you slow down your pace and you start focusing in a bit more as you're travelling, there is there's almost like not a physical or not even a visible, more just a feeling. It's like an aura of like unnaturalness and discomfort in this area. Actually, you pick up on it, but then as well as just sort of pick up on it, there is there's almost like a familiarity actually to it for you, Kasha.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the smell first. The smell is kind of like sort of familiar to you. You can't quite place it, and you try to work out what natural sort of situations or swampland you've been in that has this particular smell. And then the temperature sort of builds. And at one point, as you sort of slow down, you go for a slightly deeper part of the mud. As you sort of place your foot down into the mud, and you feel that strange aura, the smell, the temperature, and then that sort of damp, sort of almost squelch around your foot as you put it down to the mud. Mm-hmm. There is a quite heavy sense of, for lack of a better term, almost like deja vu, and it's just very familiar to you, like, yeah. Nothing, you can't immediately say what is going on around here. There's clearly like swamp, but there's just something familiar to it. And as you carry on with that sort of grow, so go on.
I was just going to say this is unpleasant and reminiscent of something, but nothing good.
My job here is done. Yeah, as you sort of carry on, let me just grab. Is that the right notes for this? Lovely.
Oh dear.
Yeah, as you sort of carry on, Kasha, you get that sense and that sort of familiarity, and then a few minutes later, a little slower than you, Halloran and Adsalor, you both also have a moment where all of a sudden the smell and the temperature, and it's getting quite muggy, and that sort of really overwhelming sort of temperature, and it's almost like the heat and the humidity of the swamp sort of builds and just overwhelms it, and all three of you are just getting this recognition, and yeah, and as that sort of really begins to overwhelm you, you finally come to a place where the swamp and the sort of bog of it all just opens up now, and ahead of you there is what looks to be a good 300 feet maybe ahead of you. Just it goes from just bog and into like a proper deep swamp. You can see there's like laying still water, and you can immediately tell the water is kind of sort of putrid and dank, and it's like this is still water. You can't see an obvious sort of like feed anywhere, but it sort of opens up, and you can see for about 300 feet ahead of you, and as you sort of get closer and you all sort of come to a stop and take the view in a little, the first most overwhelming thing of it all is, like I say, the temperature, this sort of smell, and then the kind of recognition of what you can see. And as you look into the swamp ahead of you, there are just underneath the surface, somewhat half buried in the peat and the weeds and the sort of brown still water, hundreds of humanoid bodies. Can I get from everybody a secret perception check?
In my head, we've just reached the bit in the Needham's Grove that the heroes of Thentos got to. I can't remember exactly what was there. I seem to remember there was a drake that we fought. We got so far into the forest, had a bit of a fight, and then we kind of came back. It feels like we're kind of there.
Wow. So, somebody in the party almost got a double critical, and has 19 over the DC for that check. That's cool. Yeah, you all stop. You all have a look around. Adslor, the first thing that hits you is just almost the overwhelming sense of like sadness of this situation. You can see there are there must be hundreds of bodies you can see in this bog, this swamp, and sort of mixed in with it all. And more than anything, that just takes your attention immediately. It's you almost not physically counting, but just taking in the sheer volume of it all. The rest of you pick up on more. Phelan, Darius, Halloran. As each of you look on, you see the volume of it all, but then you just pick up on there's a few different things you spot. The first thing you spot is there does seem to be sort of further in past some of these bodies and into the swamp itself. You can see looks to be there are some kinds of stone structure. Looks like something has been built here at some point. There is something like there, and it's almost sort of been swallowed up and taken in by this swamp sort of all around you. And the three of you pick up on that, and you can see it, and it's probably sort of 70 or 80 feet away, that stone structure that you can see ahead of you, and that just peeks out across part of it. But it certainly looks like, this isn't like a whole building above the swamp itself. It's kind of been swallowed up down into this bog. And then the one of you that is most tuned to this, most paying attention, and nearly got the 20 over DC, you've already got that uncomfortable sense, Kasha, of familiarity. And then two things hit you at the same time. One, that sense of familiarity strikes hard, really hard, and you just for a moment, as you look at all the bodies in this sort of bog and this peat, you can almost empathize with them and feel that the heat and the temperature and the smell and being submerged like they all are, and it triggers something in you, something so familiar. And then the next thing that hits you is the odd element of all these bodies. You can see all these bodies around you, and as the other members of the party are either taking in the terrain or taking the sheer volume of it, you're immediately you feel the familiarity. You look down at some of the bodies in the water, and one of the first ones you see is kind of, you can see it's sort of like it's laid faced up, it's below the water but sort of looking up. It's a humanoid body, and it's got almost like bovine sort of facial features, and there are these slightly flopped ears, and you spot it immediately because you recognise these creatures, and you know that it is very odd to see one in a long time. This swamp appears to be full of hundreds of furbolg.
Not the furball.
No.
We like them.
Oh, my idiot.
We should.
I actually left the scene I prepared for this on my fucking laptop rather than this desktop. I'm an idiot. Oh well, that's really annoying.
You idiot.
I mean,
Yes.
you can probably picture it. It's not nice.
I think.
Doesn't sound pleasant.
Furbolgs. Furbolgs haven't been seen. Well, nothing's been seen in the forest for a long time. But furbolgs haven't been seen for a long, long time.
Yes, even before the forest was sort of shut off and closed, furbolgs had basically been considered extinct for some time. Yeah, at least, I mean, at this point, at least sort of 40 to 50 years maybe before anyone could really confidently talk about having encountered them, yeah.
Think we should try and establish how they died.
Yeah. Anyone that wants to help with ascertaining on this, make for me a secret medicine check.
Okay. And Kasha will.
Actually, I'll go for your choice of nature or medicine. Nature will be looking for just general state of the bodies, I guess. Medicine for a more sort of in-depth sort of feel on what could have happened.
Well, if it's possible to do without getting too much into the swamp, Kasha will try and pull a body out of the swamp.
Yeah.
Or out of the initial the water.
Is it just Halloran and Kasha looking into the bodies? Okay.
I can't believe that Darius wouldn't get involved.
Yeah, he's gone for it. Does anyone want a hero point there? Just asking. No.
He's got a spot.
No
He
reason in
was
particular.
intrigued.
Yeah.
Halloran and Kasha, you both sort of work together. You sort of kneel down and pull one of these furbolgs out somewhat of the bog, and both looking like I say, you both go for a sort of macedonal and like sort of approach, looking for anything that sort of hints to what could have happened to these creatures or what sort of could have killed them. And they're all sort of, most of them under the water, a few out, but drowning. It's hard to say. And with the temperature and the water, these things could have been here for any amount of time. Really hard to read, and neither of you really get much of a clear read on anything beyond the fact that these creatures are deceased and long deceased. Darius, as you sort of kneel down alongside one of the other bodies, as those two sort of focus out, you just look into a few of the other ones around, and you actually note this really quickly. You are really efficient, and I really wish you had a hero point to lose this natural 20, but sadly you didn't. But you pick up on it really quickly, Darius. You sort of start paying attention, and there are some oddities here. There are some things that don't seem right and don't seem natural. So all the bodies you look at, you come across, you sort of take a look into, they are all furbolgs. You quite quickly realise that. You can sort of see that they're all the same sort of same species, but there are inconsistencies. Some of them look like. Are you familiar with furbolgs at all, Darius? Like, do you know what they are? Like, you're at least aware of them, or?
I believe he knows what furbolgs are. I'm guessing
Yeah.
he heard about them doing how to cure stuff in his younger years, and kind of looked into them.
Yeah, so you can recognise these are all the same sort of species. These are the same types of creatures. Some of them look like you would expect this sort of like bovine, humanoid sort of features. But as you start looking around more, some of them, it's quite uncomfortable actually. Some of them have these like shapeless faces. The body is there and the ears are there, but there is just an eye missing, but not a hole where it should be. It's just like there's a smooth skin all around it. It was like almost like a creature that hasn't been fully moulded from out of like a clay or something. And other ones of them are similar. There's just lots of like inconsistencies and like just things don't look. There's not a consistency. Some of these are furbolgs. Some of these look like incomplete versions of furbolgs somebody has been sculpting, but they're all natural. You can, as you look at some of the ones that sort of take your attention like that, Darius, they're humanoid. They have been living at some point, but they're just not quite right, and it's almost like this mix of oddities almost sort of mixed in with them all. And it's a real mix, as the majority of them look to be what you would consider a standard furbolg, but there's a good amount of these other ones sort of mixed in around it all. And then the one that really stands out to you, Darius, as you turn out, you sort of carry on going through and looking through another, and as Halloran and Kasha are still doing this one single sort of in-depth sort of look at this one, and you're already just fumbling around, not with a lack of care, but just quickly looking from body to body and moving them and poking at them, Darius, to get a better sort of view of them all. The next one, as you sort of poke it and it sort of floats slightly in the bog and sort of comes up to the surface a little more, the thing that stands out with this one is that, again, another furbolg, but not a natural furbolg as you expect. And the strangest thing about this furbolg is the wooden bark arm that immediately just reminds you of Adsalor and what you had seen beneath their mask when they'd first sort of shown you their face.
Cat.
I have a feeling these are like essentially AI slop.
I'll just kind of signal for Aslor to like. I'll kind of like signal to him to come over to me.
Yeah, I'll come and have a look and
Yeah.
be nosy.
As you come over Adsalor, you can see it immediately, and you sort of, you don't even really pick up on all the sort of like those sort of unformed ones that Darius is seeing. You just march over to where Darius is sort of gesturing for you, and then you see it. There is one of these furbolgs, and it has a solid wooden bark arm, and part of its torso, far less of its body, is taken by this flesh warp in comparison to your own, but immediately you can see the parallels and the similarities.
I mean, tells me that I'm heading in the right direction if they're around, I think.
Can I get very quickly, just from everybody, I'll just get another secret perception check, as everyone just takes in the sort of scenario as a whole, as you've all sort of sat with it and sort of began looking around and taking the situation in. Has anyone want a hero point yet? No. Cool. Yeah, so Halloran, Kasha, you two.
He says that when we roll high.
Yeah.
I just say it when you roll. You always roll high, right?
Yeah.
Hannah and Kasha, the two of you are still sort of knelt down, sort of taking in that one really sort of in-depth look at the one that you have been sort of looking into and trying to get a read on.
Mm-hmm.
Adsalor and Darius, you are sort of stood alongside one another, looking down at this one that seems to, for lack of a better term, be a kind of a kin, or some kind of share some similarities, at least, with Adsalor. Phelan, you're just sort of taking the situation in and sort of looking around it all, and as you're sort of all doing this, Halloran, you turn back and you sort of look to see where everyone else is, and everyone's split off slightly and is looking around. And luckily, you're the only member of the party that spots this, and you immediately call out to Phelan to stop moving. And you notice, as Phelan is sort of walking around and pacing around and sort of looking around at the situation, and Phelan's almost sort of keeping watch as the other four of you are sort of like taking in and sort of investigating this situation. The water around Phelan, there is bubbling and there is rippling of movement.
Don't do this.
Don't do what?
Don't make them come to life. I'll scream.
Coming to life with death.
Luckily, the Halloran, being the only member of you that succeeded at that perception check just now, prevents this from being a lot worse as it could be, and the call gets your attention, Phelan, just in time that it doesn't fully take you by surprise, as there is a splash around you, and breaking out from below the water, this sort of twist of reeds and almost wood and just moss and mess just lurches up out of the water and just sort of towers up above you and almost sort of throws itself towards you, Phelan. Can I get an initiative roll from everybody, please?
If there's one roll today you should hero point, it would be this one.
Does anybody want to hero point their initiative roll? Sorry, one moment. Right, sorry. Yes, so we got all those. Yeah. So yeah, that scream from Halloran is the only thing, Phelan, that stopped you getting attacked outside of initiative. There. We drop into initiative. Oh, hang on, all my stuff's gone. What if I just clicked when I was having that conversation? Give me one moment. Sorry. Am I muted still as well? Can you? No, I'm not muted. That's fine.
No.
Because there've been no response. I was like, oh shit, am I still muted? But I'm not. That's fine. Right. Oh, there we go. Cool. Yeah, there is this burst of movement as everything sort of just, like I say, it's almost just like reeds and moss and dirt all sort of pop up over you there, Phelan. And immediately these vines just swing and just sort of whip at you and just sort of almost try to entangle you. However, the shout from Halloran is enough to sort of give you the heads up and get you to pull back, and it misses. As it does so, these swing at you and you just react quick enough. You dart back. The second swing comes at you immediately, which is a critical miss, gets nowhere near you. And then there is, it just sort of like, this mound sort of almost just sort of collapses back into the water slightly. It doesn't go underwater, but as it's sort of raised up to come at you, it sort of comes back down a little, and then just moves in this direction. Also, I should start the encounter, I guess. Darius, it is your turn. I didn't think we'd get quite this far, so I haven't set it up properly. This should all be, should all be difficult terrain, because it is like muddy, swampy stuff. So any movement stuff will be half movement. But I didn't think we'd get quite this far. So I hadn't finished setting it up.
So I was going to do a spell, I just realised I need to do it on a solid surface.
Ah, that's annoying.
Let's not do that one. Yeah. I think. Yeah. Oh, that sucks. Can I do a recall knowledge?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, you sort of take a look over at this creature. You sort of see as it pops up, and you get the moment. Halloran sort of shouting out gives you a sort of moment to get a bit of a better read as well. You recognise this, and actually, Darius, you recognise this quite well. This is essentially, you can almost tell immediately, this is what is known as a shambler, and these are like carnivorous plants that are not even necessarily a single creature, almost like a collection of plant life and moss and detritus. Tend to be quite solitary creatures themselves, but almost they're not made up of one single thing. It's just like a collection of like living plant material. They are definitely a threat though. And if you were to make an immediate, quick assumption, this probably feels like the largest threat you may have come across so far with this group, Darius. You can also, with your result, get a mechanical information of your choice.
I feel like I want to know what it's resistant to, so we're not hitting it with something that
Nice.
might.
So yeah, you can get all resistances, or you can get one resistance with a value as well.
I'll get all resistances.
Nice.
I'll risk it.
Yeah, so you're familiar with these things. They only have one resistance, but it has some kind of resistance to fire damage. Leaves you with 2 more actions, Darius.
Well, I feel like I felt that, and it's a plant. What am I gonna do? I'll cast Spell Reach, and I will just move very slowly away from it.
Okay. Halloran.
Yeah.
Oh, also, if anyone forgot to put their armour back on, like I think possibly Adslor, we assume you've probably got armour on at this point.
Very kind of you.
Unless you want to insist you are nude in this swamp.
No.
Okay. Fine, have it your way.
I just realised something.
Hello.
The bow
So-
that I gave to the other Halloran, I don't have anymore. I'm sure he had a bow. Do you not have a bow? It's gone now.
I've still got their things, so give me 1 moment.
Maybe I'm misremembering it entirely, but I feel like I gave him a bow. Anyway.
It's not in their inventory. I don't know if other people picked up some of the stuff from those bodies. It might be somewhere else in your party, maybe?
That's alright. Okay, I'm going to... What I was looking for was whether... I was really hoping my...
Adslor has 2 bows, by the way, so I don't know if maybe that's where one of them went. I don't
Possibly.
know. Actually, maybe
Well,
you
I
always did, Jake, because actually you get advantages for it, don't you? For having 2 weapons. Oh, that's because I don't know. Yeah.
2 bows seems unlikely. Although I think Adslor got a bow from his mate
That is true.
that we met in the house.
It's alright, don't worry about it. Anyway, I will just... It's all difficult terrain, right? So I can't get close to it in one move.
Yeah, it's difficult terrain. Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess I'll attempt to recall knowledge as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you see it burst out, so you spot it as it burst out. Then you hear Darius sort of call out a bit of information as he tells you all that it's resistant to fire and it's a shambler. But in that sort of moment, the surprise, everything just seems to overwhelm you. Yeah, you don't recall anything additional currently.
Alright, that's me done.
Okey-dokey. Kasha.
Okay. Kasha is sort of watching it until it's some sort of plant thing. And it attacked Balin on its way past him.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
She's just debating whether she's got a lightning bolt or not. Does feel like a thing to do. Yeah, it's big enough. Yeah, so she looks at it, looks around, and then rotate that. Just drop it there anyway.
That's cool. Yeah.
Enemies target.
That is a critical failure.
Ooh.
Got some damage.
Oh, that's depressing.
Yeah, you sort of you assess the situation. You cast the lightning bolt, and you all see as there's again that crackling in the air, and it darts out, and throws out towards this creature who's just too large and sort of it just has no nimbleness to dodge it. Critically fails the attempt to dodge it, and the lightning hits it, smashes it, and the whole body lights up and begins darting with electricity. It takes no damage.
Oh.
And the whole is
went badly.
pulsing with electricity all around the different parts of it now. It's just darting between it.
Oh, I guess that's different from an immunity.
Darius took resistances, not immunities.
Yeah, I know. That's sorry. That's what I meant. That's
yeah.
I meant a resistance is different to an immunity.
Yes.
Yeah. Kasha will shout over at Darius. I thought you said it was only resistant to fire. And then she will. I think the only thing. I'll try and recall knowledge.
I just said it's the hardest thing we've ever fought.
Recall knowledge is. I targeted it. So I think I have.
Nice. So yeah, you sort of you cast the spell, and immediately, not as part of this recall knowledge, but you see, and as you see that happen, you immediately become aware this is immune to electricity damage. And then this is successful, so another piece of information at your choice.
I would like to know a weakness.
I
would like to know all its weaknesses.
All its weaknesses.
If I can do that,
yeah. You see the way it's reacted so far. Darius has given you a bit of information. He's told you about the fire damage. You've now picked up on the immunity to electricity, and Darius has said to you, this looks like the hardest challenge you might have seen so far together as a group, and that really hits home as you become aware it has no weaknesses.
It has no weaknesses.
Oh boy, we're in danger.
Yep, that's pretty much what Kasha will shout, and that will end her turn.
Adslaw, do you want to throw some electricity at it?
No, you should know exactly what my turn is going to be.
Run. Flee.
No.
Run away.
Draw my bow. I'm
Humphrey.
going to go for... We'll go for the hunter's bow. We'll pull that off my back. And draw that. Then, yeah, we'll hunt prey. And then do a hunted shot.
Nice.
To make 2 shots against it.
That's it. Lovely. That one's a miss.
That's not. Cool. 2 whole damage. God, I really, really need to get a striking rune on my bow.
Phelan, it's your turn.
Okay.
So yeah, it's sort of it jumped up, took the 2 swings at you, which both missed, and then it sort of started moving in that other direction, and then you saw the lightning hit it, and now it is pulsing and crackling all over itself.
Interesting.
Yeah, see, that was like a bad thing to do. Doing that.
I'll just shoot it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's not very good. My gun's loaded with electric ammo.
Oh, fuck's sake.
You can unload it. I mean, it's an
Yeah.
action to do with firearms and guns, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. How do I do that? Do I press the... Hold on.
I think it's like a little eject icon, if I remember.
Yeah, there we go. So would that be my turn then?
That would be 3 actions, yeah. Draw it, take out the electric ammunition you put in there earlier, and then put something else in. I quite like that. That was a moment, to be fair.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
Nice. As you do that, the creature's there, and it's crackling with energy all around it. And as it then starts moving, with all that electricity around it, you can see it appears to be moving faster than it was previously. It now has more actions to use. The first thing it will do, it makes... yeah, so it swings the vine at you immediately as you're sort of approaching it, Halloran. Which is a hit for 20 damage on Halloran. Then also, why can't I select anything? Oh, because I've clicked that idiot. It then swings one of its vines out towards you as well, at Phelan, which is a critical hit for 38 damage, Phelan. It will then, as a third action, move to here, and then as its fourth action, swings the vines out, this time at you, Kasha.
Oh.
Which is a hit for 11 damage. And then, as it does so, it lets that vine out at you, Cash, and it smacks you, and you take the damage, and then you see all the crackling sort of fades away, and it sort of goes all that sort of lightning sort of jerking around and bolting through the various bits of its body, sort of fades and slows and disappears. Darius, it's your turn.
I will cast a spell on it. Actually, can I recall knowledge again?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Before I do my spell.
Yeah, nothing this time. You got a bit of sort of memory the first time around, but this time nothing immediately springs back to you.
I will try this spell then. Grim tendrils at him.
Oh, you did spell reach, didn't you? Of course you did, yeah. Let's get fortitude save.
Yeah, I did spell reach last time.
That is a critical success.
Okay.
Yeah, you has no effect your spell.
That's my go done.
Halloran.
Yeah. Unsurprisingly, I'm going to hit it. Sorry, I thought I targeted it. Try again.
Nice, yeah, that's a hit. $13 damage.
I hit it again.
That one's also a hit.
second.
Sorry.
Okay. It's quite hard to crit this thing.
Nice. 16 damage, maximum damage.
Yeah. But this thing is way harder than I expected it to be. I'll go again.
Yeah.
Right,
Last one misses, yeah. Unless you want a hero point it. Do the old clock check if you want.
I did the clock, yeah, but even that, like, there's 6 minutes, and I could easily get completely dead in that time. So I will decline.
Cool. Kasha.
Okay. Really hurt is not very hurt at all. Okay, I think the logical thing to do is he's going to cast Protect a Tree.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
When an ally adjacent to the tree. Okay, so I can't quite get it anywhere useful. So Protect a Tree.
So yeah, it protects people adjacent to it, not adjacent to the creature. Yeah.
Yeah, no, indeed. Oh no, I was just wondering. Yeah, I just wanted to see whether I could get it so it would cover both Phelan and Halloran, but it won't. So I'm going to drop it there.
Nice.
And then she herself is going to move, I think. Is this over here a tree, or is this still just difficult terrain?
Yeah, just general difficult terrain, yeah.
Okay, so I can go 10 feet, I think.
Yeah, it would be, yeah.
It's a little bit adjacent, but still. But yeah, she'll move around to there. Okay.
Nice. Adslow.
Is it possible to attempt? This looks like some form of hedgery or something. Can I try and just like hide?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I'm assuming hide is an action, is it? Yeah. Just double checking. I know the underbrush cloak gives me a. Oh, go away, Google. What have I done? I've clicked the thing. Go away. There we go. I know the underbrush cloak gives me a bonus.
+1 to stealth checks when in heavily forested areas. This is not a heavily forested area currently.
What?
Well,
We're in a massive forest. Inside of a massive forest. You bastard.
That's what I do. Nice. Cool.
And then I'm going to take probably a couple of shots. But before I shoot this thing, I'm going to do a little recall knowledge.
Yeah. Nothing.
Nope. Cool. I shoot it twice.
Nice.
Um,
you get no bonuses from being hidden, by the way.
Fine.
Because you critically failed at hiding. Yeah, that one's a hit.
Whatever.
Nice.
You can take that one
is
damage.
You get your second one as well, right?
Yeah.
That one's a miss, unfortunately.
What? This is bollocks.
Phelan, you are heavily hurt.
Maybe.
I think it was fact, Cormac. I don't think it's up for debate.
I'll probably just shoot the thing. Yeah, I'll shoot it.
That is a critical hit. You can roll critical
Nice.
damage.
Ooh.
Not the best rolls, but still. That is 19 damage. It does succeed against your critical specialization roll, though, unfortunately.
I'll reload.
Yeah.
And then I'll do it again. I think. Yeah, I can do that.
That's also a hit. Roll for damage. Nice. Another 6 damage.
Yeah, it's my turn.
Nice. Okay. We will come back round to this creature's turn, and we will resolve that next session. Which might be next week, but I will have to kind of play it by ear. So we leave for Disney like Thursday morning, so it will kind of depend on how we are in terms of being sorted and things.
I was going to say I have a feeling I won't be here next week.
Oh, okay,
because
right.
I'm during the day, and I don't think we're going to get back in time.
In that case, it's probably so I basically was going to say I will try to play because I didn't want to let anyone down. But in that case, maybe it's safer to say no.
Yeah.
Do that and blame it on me.
And then the following Wednesday, it's kind of the same, I guess. We get back on like very, very early Wednesday morning. So yeah, maybe let me see. I guess
Well, I'm almost certainly on the Isle of Wight that day, so maybe not available to play.
Perfect. Okay. Well, yeah. That
but
case,
also maybe available to do something in person.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. We'll rain check for the next 2 weeks, and then maybe we can do something. Yeah, maybe play some games in person that day or something. That'd be kind of cool. Cool. All right. We will pick that up in a few weeks.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. All right.